Hi yogis, welcome back to Yoga by Paige. I've had a lot of requests for handstand and arm balance inversion strength, so that's what we'll be working on today. This is definitely a more intermediate to advanced practice, so that's what you're looking for, you're in the right place. And if you need something a little more beginner, I have a few of those videos as well on my channel. Be sure to subscribe for weekly content, and we look forward to practicing with you. So to begin our inversion and arm balance strength building, what I want to start with is a little bit of a mantra. And that mantra is hug, push, squeeze, broaden. So if you'll bring your hands out in front with me, you'll flex the fingertips back towards your face. You'll hug the shoulders down, so that's the upper arm bone into the socket. You'll push the ground away. You'll squeeze your hands and broaden through the chest. And now, hopefully you feel like you have recruited all of the muscles around that shoulder joint to feel a little bit extra strong. And even just sitting here, hopefully you feel a little fatigued. That means you're doing it right. So go ahead and let that go, shake it out. And we'll do that again. Bring your hands out in front of you. We'll hug, push, squeeze, and broaden. So it's really important, go ahead and release that we build this stability within the shoulder joint as we begin to weight bear, and particularly as we begin to invert, because it's a much more open socket than our hips are. So if you think of our hips, it's a ball and socket. We are secure, they are meant to be walked on, whereas our shoulders, it's more like a golf ball on a tee. It's a little bit more open, which provides us a significant greater range of motion, which we absolutely need. But when we come to put all of our weight on this joint, we have to recruit the stronger muscles that are around. Think about your legs and how strong your legs are. We don't have that same muscle mass up here, so we have to be really technical in our approach. So coming back to that hug, push, squeeze, broaden again, let's bring our hands out in front of us, flex the fingertips back towards your face. We'll hug the shoulders down, push the ground away, squeeze your hands together, and broaden your chest. So here, what we've done is we've turned on the serratus anterior, we've turned on the rhomboids, we've turned on the pecs, and we've opened up. You feel it? Great. Now that you have that, let's go ahead and take that to our practice. We'll come right into our tabletop, planting the hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, and we'll just do that one time here. Hug, push, squeeze, and broaden with that weight in your hands. So start to feel that you might feel a lot of weight in your wrists here, so we're going to open up the wrists a little bit first. We're going to turn the fingertips away from each other so that they're pointing to the edges of your mat, exposing the wrists toward each other. And we'll find a couple of rocks around in one way, and then we'll go the other way. Just hoping to create some space here before we put a lot of weight. Now let's put the backs of our hands into the mat. Fingertips will point in towards each other. Spread the fingers really wide so the thumbs and the pinkies are pressing into the ground. You'll press the full back of your hand into the mat and see if you can straighten your arms. You might not be able to. It's a pretty intense stretch, but maybe someday. We'll take those rocks forward and back, and then side to side, just like we did when our fingertips were pointing out. Now here's the last one, and this one can sometimes be a little bit brutal, I'll be honest. You're going to squeeze your hands in to make a fist, really stretching out the backs of our hands, and then open. And then squeeze and open. Last one, we'll squeeze and open, and then shake that out, letting it go. Coming back into that tabletop position, and now seeing we've got a little bit more room to work with that we've just created. Grip the mat with your fingertips. This will help you steady as we begin to invert later on. In your tabletop here, hug the shoulders back, push the ground away, squeeze the hands together, and broaden your chest. Through all of that, make sure you're toning through the core and the lower back is nice and flat. Now we'll tuck the toes and hover the knees off of the mat, just a couple of extra inches, putting more weight into our hands, starting to see where you are putting the weight. So you want the weight to be at the base of your forefingers and in your fingertips. Can you start to feel that sensation? Keeping that, just send the hips back into downward facing dog. Finding a big stretch here in downward facing dog, take an inhale and exhale. And now, just right away, we're going to do a few things to let go of our fear. So being upside down as an adult is not the most normal thing to do. So we got to work on that. So we'll take a few, we'll call these donkey kicks or tuck jumps. Lift your heels, bend your knees. With your hands gripping the mat, you just want to think about your heels drawing up to kick yourself in the butt. Inhale, kick. Exhale, back. Inhale, kick. Exhale, back. Last one, inhale, kick. And exhale, back. See? Nothing bad happened there, right? So now we'll take this into a little bit of a flow to get our bodies moving. Inhale, float your right leg high. Exhale, roll that right hip open. Big scorpion dog, stretching it out. Let the left heel drop down towards the mat as you keep reaching your chest towards the thigh. And an inhale here, reach that right knee up a little bit higher, and then exhale, let the right elbow float down. You might feel a little off center, so you can extend that right leg. Now draw the left hand back in line with your right elbow and press that left hand into the mat. Shift your weight forward as if you were in a chaturanga. So we got one forearm down and you're squeezing one elbow in. Lift up high onto the ball of that back foot and then exhale it down. This right shoulder is working a lot, I know. Inhale, lift up and then down. One more time, inhale, lift up. And down, and now we'll press this right hand into the mat, straighten your arm, extend the left arm, and come back down to downward facing dog. You should be feeling something, some kind of way. Now we will inhale, float the left leg high, roll that left hip open, scorpion dog. Big stretch here. Exhale, reach that chest toward the right thigh, drop the right heel down towards the mat. See if you can get that big stretch on the back of your leg. Now the left elbow will drop down to the mat. Your right hand will draw back in line with that left elbow, and you're creating a chaturanga shape with this right arm. Shift your shoulder over that elbow, and then lengthen your leg to feel a little bit more balanced. While you're here, lift up high into the ball of that right foot, and then exhale it down. Try not to collapse into that shoulder. Feel the hug, push, squeeze, broaden. Inhale, high. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale high up to those toes. Exhale down. Press the left hand in, reach the right arm out, and then set the foot down, downward facing dog. If you'd like a chaturanga to reset that, inhale, shift it forward. Feel that hug, push, squeeze, broaden. Shift to your toes. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhaling, upward facing dog, and exhaling back, downward facing dog. Big breath to reset. Feel those shoulders and exhale. Right leg will float high to the sky. Inhale. Exhaling, step the right foot between your hands. We'll get off the wrist for just a moment. Left toes will spin out, heel down, root to rise into your warrior one. Big breath here in warrior one. Exhaling, release the hands behind you. We're open up the front of our bodies. Roll the shoulders, squeeze the elbows, lengthen the hands down that back leg. Big breath here, inhale, and exhale. Now we will inhale, leading with the chin, reach out over this right thigh, and then exhale, just plant your hands on either side of this front foot. We're gonna inhale, step into the right leg, let the left leg float up high. For a supported warrior three, your hips are square. Chest is reaching forward, shoulders are drawing back. Exhale, drop your forehead down towards this right shin. Let the left leg float high for standing splits. Let the forehead relax. Feel your breath develop the stretch. One more here. And now we'll lift our chest up halfway, planting the hands underneath your shoulders. If you want to take a little hop back onto your mat, feel free to. So just like we did in those tuck jumps, we're going to do a one-leg tuck jump here. So hug, push, squeeze, and broaden your chest through. Lift up high into the ball of this right foot, and now just the right heel is going to come up and kick our butt. Take an inhale, kick, exhale down, inhale, kick, exhaling down. One last time, inhale, kick, exhale down, stepping it back into high plank pose. Shift forward to your toes, exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog, and exhaling back, downward facing dog. One big breath here, reset. I know it's fun, yogis. And exhale. Here's your second side. Left leg floats high, three-leg dog. Exhaling, step the foot between your hands, knee over ankle. Spin your right toes out, right heel down. We'll root to rise, warrior one. Taking a moment here to be upright. Exhale, release the hands behind you. Roll your shoulders out of the ears, squeeze the elbows, and lengthen your hands down your back. Lifting up the chest, feeling that broadening sensation, countering all of that other work. Now exhale, lead with your chin, reach, 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 and then place the hands down on either side of your front foot. We'll step into a supported warrior 3. So square your hips off, flex your right toes, and reach your chest out first. One big breath here. Now exhaling, drop your forehead toward that left shin. Allow the right leg to engage and maybe even lift for your standing splits. Your neck is relaxed. Your navel is still pulling in, helping you close that distance. We'll take one more breath, getting the stretch to develop. And now we'll inhale, lift the chest up halfway. Plant the hands down underneath your shoulders. Again, if you want to hop back on your mat, you can. Now we'll lift up high onto the ball of the left foot this time. Navel and ribs pull into the spine. Hug, push, squeeze, broaden through the arms. Left heel kicks the left butt. Inhale, kick. Exhale, down. Inhale, kick. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, kick. Exhale, down. And stepping it back to high plank pose. Inhale, shift forward to your toes. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And exhaling back, downward facing dog. Come on down to your knees. Make your way into a comfortable seat and just roll out your wrists. So I'll give you one last little wrist opener here, because after all of that heavy weight on our hands, the wrist can feel pretty fatigued. So we'll bring the right palm to face our face. That's cute. Grab your pinky and inhale, reach out, pulling that pinky back toward you. And then release. We'll grab the ring finger, pull that back, and release. Middle finger, pull it back. Release. Pointer, back. Release. And then same thing with our thumb. You just got to turn that thumb out a little bit more. Pull that one back as well. And then give it a nice shake out. Here's our second side. Turn the palm of your hand towards your face. Grab your pinky finger and reach it out. Middle finger, stretch. I guess that was a ring finger. This one's your middle finger, stretch. That one feels the best to me. Pointer finger, reach it out. And now your thumb, stretching it out. Letting go of the wrists. And then just recognizing the work that it takes to be able to hold a handstand in the middle of the room. There are so many elements that we have. That's why our practice is called a practice. So keep at it, and I will continue to add more videos every week, helping you build your strength. Namaste.